Welcome to tip number 8 of stress resilience. Today we are going to discuss balancing your gut and what your gut has to do with your stress resilience. Welcome to the Mentally Fit Farmer channel. I'm your host, Mark Weisenburger. Imagine for a minute what would happen if you woke up tomorrow morning and all the microorganisms in your soil were gone. They were dead. How productive would your farm be at that point? Your gut is the same way. Your gut is filled with microorganisms. Some are good, some are bad. And so we need to balance those microorganisms in your gut. Now, if you haven't heard of the gut-brain axis and don't understand why this is important, let me just give you a quick explanation, although I will leave a link to a video in the description below to help you watch a longer video to understand more about the gut-brain axis. But real briefly, pretend like your brain in your head and the brain in your gut are cell phones, and that axis is the tower that allows the two of them to communicate back and forth. Guess what? When your microorganisms or microbiome in your gut are not balanced, it's kind of like using an old, outdated cell phone. Remember those old flip phones versus this new Samsung Notes or iPhone 12? So we need to balance that gut to bring that flip phone into today's communication world. And we're going to have a mini series of that within these 30 tips. But today I just want to give you an overall briefing on what you can start doing and why to help balancing your gut. The first thing you need to do is increase your probiotics. Probiotics are microorganisms that your gut needs. Our whole body, skin, every part of our body is filled with various microorganisms. And so by feeding our gut the appropriate probiotics, and we'll get into specific probiotics in a later video, but just keep in mind you need probiotics. Secondly, you need to increase your prebiotics. Now, you may not have heard of prebiotics. Prebiotics is the newest research in science with gut health. And prebiotics is just simply specific fibers that your gut needs to help those healthy probiotics to survive. The next thing you should increase in your diet is just overall fiber. And again, we'll get into a video later with specific foods to help you do that and why that's important. However, I trust that you know what foods have fiber. Increase your intake. It's going to do a few things. It's going to help balance out the good and bad microorganisms and probiotics, as well as it will fill your stomach and your gut to help you so that you don't crave some of the foods we're going to talk about in a future video, probably tomorrow, on things that you should not eat to balance that out. So I kind of feel like I've rambled today, but just real quickly, things that you need to start thinking about to do to help balance your gut is increase your intake of probiotics, prebiotics, and increased fiber as well as increased water. You need more water as you increase that fiber. Otherwise, it will cause some problems in your plumbing, if you know what I mean. So come back tomorrow and start getting specifics on actions you can take to help balance your gut. And until then, to your stress resilience.